80 cents.
The following is a presentation of the National Thoroughbred Racing Association and ESPN.
You're watching Citgo's Belmont Week coverage on ESPN2.
And welcome to Belmont Park, just moments after the 134th running of the Belmont Stakes. Unofficially a record crowd here. It has been the talk of New York. Everyone coming out hoping to see a Triple Crown winner, but racing's elusive prize had slipped away once again, and really happening almost from the gate break as War Emblem stumbles, and with that he also fumbles away his opportunity at the Triple Crown. The Triple Crown 2002 is presented by Visa. And what a great crowd on hand today for the 134th running of the Belmont. The roar that goes up when the gates open on the Belmont Stakes, and another roar as they turn for home. And everybody expected War Emblem to be in the lead as they headed for home, but that was not the case. And what a stretch duel, Randy Moss. Sarava, we saw him win the Sir Barton, and Kenny McPeek, a tough week for him. He loses Harlan's Holiday. He brings Sarava to New York, and he wins the Belmont Stakes.
It's unbelievable. 5 weeks ago, we started this Triple Crown chase with what was at the time a shocking upset when War Emblem wins the Kentucky Derby. If you recall, that was an $18,000 trifecta that day. And today, War Emblem going for immortality in the Belmont Stakes, and unfortunately not to be. Sarava making his appearance in the Triple Crown this year, the first horse since Colonial Affair in '93 to win the Belmont after having missed both the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. Medaglia d'Oro second, Sunday break third, a $25,000 trifecta. The superfecta, which also involved number 11 Magic Wisner, the fourth place finisher, exceeded $140,000. These shocks just never quit coming.
And that payoff of $142 is the highest in Belmont Stakes history. And it's kind of strange. If you look at this whole year, it's been the unknown horses, the horses that haven't taken the traditional route. War Emblem comes into the Derby off the Illinois Derby. We didn't even see Proud Citizen until the Santa Anita Derby. That was basically a tune-up. He wins the Lexington Stakes. He's a factor in the Derby and the Preakness. And then Sarava, really the first chance we got to see him was the Sir Barton back on Preakness Day. So it's been a weird year.
You can't get much more unconventional than Sarava winning the Belmont Stakes. I mean, when he got to the Sir Barton, if you recall, we brought that to you on the undercard of the Preakness. Kenny McPeek had him there after sort of debating in his mind whether to go in the Sir Barton, whether he was good enough at that time to run in the Sir Barton, or whether they needed to go for another allowance race as he was originally planning on. He decided, oh, what the heck, he's doing pretty well. My owner wants to run in the Sir Barton. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. He wins the Sir Barton by 4 lengths, comes into the Belmont Stakes, having never been past 1 1/16. And now he's trying to stretch all the way out to 1.5 miles. You could go back in the history of the Belmont Stakes. I don't know if you're going to find anything in 50 years that shows a horse going from 1 1/16 all the way up to 1.5 miles and succeeding.
And by the way, as soon as NBC's coverage is off the air, we will show you. Contractually, we cannot show the Belmont Stakes at this moment, but as soon as they're off the air, we'll get into a little bit more of an in-depth analysis and show you what went wrong for War Emblem and show you exactly what went right for Sarava and really Medaglia d'Oro, because Bobby Frankel said all week he had that horse ready to go, and he wasn't telling a white lie. He did. Let's take a look at the full order finish. We had one scratch. That was Puzzlement, and you have to go way on down there to 8th place, 19.5 lengths behind. That's where you find War Emblem.
And you knew he was in trouble. We'll show it to you later. As soon as they left the starting gate, he was in big trouble. He stumbled once, he stumbled again. He actually grabbed his left front leg with his left hind leg. You could see it yank violently upwards. And he's the type of horse that needs to have the early lead to be at his best. He was not only not in the lead, at one point he was 4th going down the back stretch. So Rob, look at the big gap between Medaglia d'Oro and Sunday Break. The top two just absolutely ran away from the rest of the field. And another key story in this race, trainer Kenny McPeek, of course, best known in the Triple Crown this year for his work with Harlan's Holiday, the beaten Derby favorite. Earlier this week, owner Jack Wolf took Harlan's Holiday away from McPeak, gave it to trainer Todd Pletcher. Really crushing blow to Kenny McPeak. He withstood it well. He kept his game face on all week, and lo and behold, the same week, he wins the Belmont Stakes, the greatest upset in Belmont history. What a sport.
In fifth place, proud citizen, the Lucas trainee. He needed some help after the race. For more on that, let's go to Janine Edwards.
Well, he ran a credible race in finishing fifth, and he made quite a move around the turn there, but it wasn't until he actually pulled up that jockey Mike Smith noticed something was wrong. And equine orthopedic surgeon Dr. Larry Bramlage joins me now to tell us exactly what happened with Proud Citizen, because he did get into the horse ambulance after the race.
He galloped out fine. When he turned around to jog back, he noticed he was a little uneven, so he got off and looked, and there's a little swelling on the inside of one of his ankles. It's unclear yet whether he hit himself or whether he has an injury. He didn't look too serious, but rather than take a chance, precautionary-wise, they put him in the ambulance and took him home and gave him a ride.
Could you tell how off or unsound he looked?
He didn't look that bad to me, but I'm looking from a quarter of a mile away. But it didn't look that bad. But, you know, you have to radiograph him and take a look at the x-rays to see.
From what you could tell, of course, though, we know at this time not a compound fracture, and certainly not something where the ankle was down in the dirt. As you said, it wasn't down. No,
none of that. It didn't look structurally unstable. So whether it has an impact on his career or not, we'll have to look.
Thanks, Dr. Bramlage. Unfortunate for trainer Wayne Lucas, as Proud Citizen is injured, but does not appear at this time to be a life-threatening injury, Jeff, and that's great news.
All right, thanks, Janine. We'll be with you here until 7:30 Eastern time, but for more, later on tonight, head to ESPN.com, click on horses, click on Triple Crown, lots of good commentary, more news on the horses that race in the 134th Belmont Stakes. You'll find stuff there from Kenny Mayne, and by the way, Kenny Mayne will join us here just a little bit later on. An upset, the biggest payoff in Belmont Stakes history, as Sarava paying $142 and change, upsets War Emblem and robs him of the Triple Crown. And of course, we'll have more from Belmont Park, a record crowd here. More from Belmont when we come back.
Having trouble?
Timing's everything in this game.
Well, going into the Sir Barton, he was eligible for what, non-winners of 2 other than? And now, A other than. Okay, non-winners of A other than. He wins the Sir Barton, and here he is. He spoils the Triple Crown of War Emblem. He's a Grade 1 winner. Go figure.
I think the fact that we've been able to be around the better quality horses over the last few years gives me a little bit better idea how to judge them. And it's a learning process, and I'm trying to learn everything I can.
Well, gosh, you certainly learned quick today, and you got the job done. Congratulations. Thanks. With Sarava for trainer Kenny McPeak, who lost Harlan's Holiday earlier in the week, and he scores a big one with the replacement in Sarava.
Well, Randy, I think any way you cut it, he has had a good year. I mean, he had a great, on the prep races leading into the Kentucky Derby, he was the most dominating guy out there, and it's really only fitting that he actually lands one of the classics.
And he's not limping quite as much now either, have you noticed?
That's right. If you keep him off the basketball court. All right, here was the field for the 134th Belmont Stakes, and starts out with a couple of long shots.
Artax 2 and Like a Hero, both huge prices. Wiseman's Ferry expected to show speed at 17-1. Godolphin's Essence of Dubai at 21. Sunday Break finally in the Triple Crown went off at 8. Perfect Drift, third place finisher in the Kentucky Derby. 5-1 final odds in the Belmont. The 7-5 favorite War Emblem, Proud Citizen, and Magic Wisner, both at 6-1. And Kenny Mayne says he's going to pick Sarava. 75-1, you got your prize.
All right, finally, let's relive the 134th Belmont Stakes with the call, Tom Durkin.
Getting close.
Of the Belmont Stakes. And they're off. And War Emblem's quest for the Triple Crown. He did not break alertly. War Emblem was off near the back of the pack. They race for the clubhouse turn, and Medallion Oro is sent today. And Wiseman's Ferry toward the inside. And there goes War Emblem now, and he splits horses as they move into the first turn. He's now third in between horses. And then on the outside, that's Proud Citizen now ranging up to be fourth. Magic Wisner is fifth. Long Shot Sarava, sixth on the outside. Sunday Break, no better than seventh at this point. Perfect Drift is eighth on the outside. Then Artax 2, followed by Essence of Dubai. Like a Hero trails the field. War Emblem is fourth, and he's bottled up on the inside as they make their way into the backstretch. The first quarter in 24 seconds flat. Wiseman's Ferry leads the way into the backstretch. Medaglia d'Oro running in second. Proud Citizen on the outside. And they have effectively bottled up War Emblem. He is now fourth as they continue their run down the backstretch. Hard held is War Emblem. And then Sarava's right alongside him with 7/8 of a mile to go. Then there's a break of 2.5 lengths. Back to Magic Wisner. On the outside of him, Sunday Break. Perfect drift. Just floating along comfortably. He's about 8 or 9 lengths from the lead. They continue up the backstretch. They're halfway home in the Belmont. The pace has been a sensible one. 3/4 and 12 and 1. And there's an inviting opening at the inside for War Emblem. And he's making his move with 5 furlongs to go. War Emblem. Medaglia d'Oro now heads apart for the lead. Wiseman's Ferry is tailing off now. Proud Citizen is poised on the outside. Sunday Break has come alive. 4 furlongs to go. Medaglia d'Oro in an all-out battle here with War Emblem. Medaglia d'Oro by a neck. War Emblem. Proud Citizen looms a threat. He's on the outside third with 3 furlongs to go. Sarava, the big long shot, is winning in fourth. Sunday Break is fifth. Magic Wisner beginning to move up now on the outside. He's 7 lengths from the lead. And War Emblem is toiling as they turn for home. Medaglia d'Oro, Sunday Break. Sarava has come on through to take the lead. And War Emblem has given way. No Triple Crown for the 24th year. Here comes Sarava and Medaglia d'Oro, though striding to the line together. Sarava on the outside. Medaglia d'Oro toward the rail. They're coming down to the finish. A huge upset is looming here. Under the line. Sarava has won the biggest long shot in the history of the Belmont Stakes at 70 to 1. Medaglia d'Oro was finishing second there. And farther back, Sunday Break. And a huge disappointment today for War Emblem. He was off poorly, never got rolling, and faded in the stretch.
Well, the expression from Bob Baffert there, I think, really says it all, but here was the key to the race for him.
Watch War Emblem coming out of the starting gate. You not only have to be good, you have to be lucky. He stumbles to both knees there. Watch his left front as he bobbles again, but watch the left front now jerk violently upward right there as he gets stepped on by his left hind leg. And after something like that, when you're a horse like War Emblem that really is accustomed to being in front, and you're a high-spirited horse that's a one-dimensional kind of front runner, to be off like that and be fourth at any point in the race going 1.5 miles, that pretty much eliminated any chance he had right at the start.
Sarava closing hard, and by the way, he comes to the United States from Europe. He lost his first 3 starts over there as a 2-year-old, but since coming to the States, he is now 6 for 6 in terms of finishing in the money. As we mentioned, we saw him win the Sir Barton, awfully strong here today, paying a record 140, 250, 50, and 20, 240 in the final time there, 229.71.
Running time not particularly impressive. You track a little slower than it was yesterday. The race pretty much for most of the horses in the race kind of fell apart. They went the last quarter mile and about 26 and 1. War Emblem probably went 29 and change for the last quarter as he really backed up. But what a huge surprise, obviously.
Sunday Break finishing in 3rd place. To follow up on that story, here's Jennifer Burke.
Thanks, Jeff. Neil Drysdale just watched the replay for the first time. Your impressions after seeing the replay in Sunday Break, maybe not having the best action around one of the turns?
Well, Gary said that he had a very good trip, but that as he was going around the turn, his back end slipped out from underneath him, and it took him quite a few strides to recover, that he started to crossfire, but then he got him straightened out. And so after that, he felt that he would just do enough to save third, because he could see that he wasn't going to win the race after that. But going into the turn, he felt he was going very smoothly. Looking back at his PPs, Neil, he, in his other races, was a little bit closer. Are you surprised at where he was placed today? No, he was relaxed. I mean, he was going comfortably, and he was in good position going around the turn, going around the last turn. Taking a look at Sunday Break on the isolated shot here, is this where he lost his hind end a bit? Yeah, that's Gary said he could feel it. Well, a bit before then, earlier than that, he said he lost the hind end from underneath him. But I was very pleased with him. He's a young, maturing, he's immature still, and he's only going to improve. So we have the rest of the year to look forward to. You certainly do. It was a disappointment when you didn't draw into the Kentucky Derby field. Do you think that hurt your chances today, or do you think that helped your chances of having a fresh horse for the summer? Never look back. I don't think it made any difference. But I think we've got some big races coming up. We got the Haskell, the Jim Dandy, the Travers. So I think this horse will be a factor. Plenty of other grade ones. As a horseman, a lifetime horseman, are you at all disappointed that right now we don't have a Triple Crown winner? Well, it was a shame that the horse stumbled coming out of the gate, because obviously he was compromised. So, but that's racing. So It was unfortunate that he had a bad break.
Sunday break still to this point, 8 lifetime starts. He has never been worse than third. Jeff.
Thanks, Jennifer. And by the way, no horse going for the Triple Crown has ever finished worse than 7th. Tough break, though, for War Emblem today as he finished in 8th place. And the Triple Crown trophy now back in the vault. Longest drought now, or at least it equals it. It was 25 years between Citation and Secretariat. We could have ended that in 24 years this year, but like a few years ago, we now look to the 25th year to hopefully have a Triple Crown winner. Kenny Mayne when we come back.
This ESPN2 presentation of Citgo's Triple Crown 2002 is brought to you by Citgo, we know you. By Visa, proud sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown. Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. By Long John Silver's, how can you resist? Williams Communications, delivering serious bandwidth for serious customers like ESPN. And by the National Thoroughbred Racing Association. Go, baby, go to the new NTRA.com. Equibase.com, your official online source for racing information, from entries to results and everything in between. Equibase.com is a service of Equibase Company, the thoroughbred industry's official database.
Great shot of historic Belmont Park. This is where the road to the Triple Crown comes to an end. Final order of finish there. Sarava pulling the upset. And down there in 8th place, War Emblem, the worst finish ever for a horse that was going for the Triple Crown. We had a chance to talk with Bob Baffert to get his thoughts on exactly what happened today.
Well, I mean, I told Victor before every race that the only place we can lose any of these races was the break. He's got to get away from there clean. Can't get in trouble. Can't have horses in front of us because he just can't take it because he gets so aggressive that when you take a hold of him, he displaces and he loses his air. So we finally, our luck ran out when he broke so poorly like that and stumbled, and next thing you know, he found himself behind horses. It was tough to watch that race because I knew we were doomed at the start, and at least he tried to put in a courageous effort to run a little bit. But the horse came back great. He gave us it was a hell of a ride. Gave us a big thrill, and it was great for racing. New York is alive and well, and the morale was up. 100,000 plus, made us feel great. I feel like I let a lot of the fans down, but they had a good time, and at least. Thank God we found him.
Well, you can only imagine how Bob Baffert feels. 3rd attempt at the Triple Crown. He's 0 for 3. It has to be absolutely gut-wrenching. And he's a guy that I guess has gotten a little bit of a bad rap here lately, and I don't think he really deserves it.
I don't know where that comes from. You see it aired, you read it, that he's got some sort of a bad image. I've known Bob since way before all this Kentucky Derby, Preakness, Belmont stuff. He's the same guy now as he was then. He's got a sense of humor that's really funny and sharp at times. He turns it on himself sometimes. And we, traveling week after week on ESPN to all these road shows, have to deal with Baffert constantly. There is nobody better to deal with in all the horseman community than Bob Baffert.
And he's so fun, whether you're print or television. He gives you good copy. He gives you good sound. Coming up next, Quest for the Cup, World Cup going on around the world. Soccer fans are glued to the tube. For Randy Moss, I'm Jeff Metters, everybody that helped us, thanks so much. We're sorry Bobby didn't win the Triple Crown. Congratulations to Kenny McPeek. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.